Alrighty, let's see. We got the sounds. Make sure we got the YouTubes. Check in the YouTubes. YouTubes. Do we got you? Do we got you? We got you. That's my big old head on screen. Alright, cool. Oop, there we go. Alright, now you can sort of see me. I turned the other thing off. Although I'm looking at that, but I should be looking up there. That's confusing. Because normally when I paint, I look at myself and yeah, okay. We're figuring it out, team. Figuring it out. So this is the board I have set up for today. This is the terrain from the Hive Wars starter box, plus a few bits from the Dark Uprising box that I got painted this week. So things like this platform and these cool stairs, this platform I just knocked everything over on, the elevator that's back here that you can't see from that cam, these like pipes and stuff, that's all from Dark Uprising. It's some cool stuff. The pipes are all magnetized, which is really neat, so they magnetize into the sides of the walls, which is very nice. So here's another one over here. You're not going to be able to see from that cam. You're only going to see it from this other cam. They just magnetize into the walls, holds them tight. It's super good. I've got the rest of the Dark Uprising train coming. I'm going to start knocking out some more pieces of that. And then we'll get, even more and more and more complex board layouts. I will probably stay on this size board for filming because it just works super good. This is a kill team style board, so 20 by 33. Plus I have this mat, which is the best mat I have to fit for Necromunda. I'm probably going to pick up some more mats just so we can have some different layouts and stuff, because I'm actually quite enjoying playing with myself on camera every weekend. It's actually a really good time, and I actually super look forward to it. I've got some more gangs in the works. I have Escher, and I'm working on probably Caldor after that. But for today, we're going to be learning to play a campaign, specifically a Dark Uprising campaign, from the Dark Uprising rulebook, from the Dark Uprising starter set. This is a super cool campaign. It gets a little complex. It's intended to be like a timed campaign where the hive and the area you're playing with sort of falls to chaos. And I think that's pretty fitting versus a normal campaign, since we've been playing versus all of the zombos, right? I've just been using them as my default enemy. So I think the idea that my hive's going to fall to chaos is pretty fitting, since we've got some zombies. And my idea for the zombies is to use them sort of as I'm learning every gang, as I complete different gangs, and then I'll start having the gangs fight each other and stuff like that. But for right now, the zombies are going to keep being my enemy. Today, they are going to get another model, and they're going to keep getting more and more models added to them, and they're basically going to be like a house rule whole gang. So this is going to be their Sump Beast today. So it should add some really hefty, hard-hitting stuff to their gang today. Because last time when we did our just let's make sure we really understand combat, like playthrough battle thing, the horde mode, I guess we should call it. Last time when we did that, my guys killed 17 zombies. Because zombies, I've just been playing them as hive scum, because they're just kind of shambling forward. They just kind of suck. Right? They're just default zombies. Really should only really be a problem when there's like a couple of them on a guy kind of thing. So they're just default hive scum. So we're gonna have a hive scum, and then we're gonna have a Sump Beast today to play around with that. I will be expanding that out, adding some chaos cultists in there. It's probably going to be an Orlok gang. So what I'm going to have is probably have an Orlok gang with some zombies and Sump Beasts and stuff like that mixed into it. That's probably going to be like the reoccurring antagonists for a bunch of the gangs. That's my goal anyway. I would like to get to a point where maybe I have a couple gangs. Maybe like the big battle of the campaign is them versus like a great unclean one, or something that like just doesn't have rolls in Necromunda, and like, you know, a great unclean one has 24 wounds. To put that in perspective, this guy has 2, and this guy's like the big boss of my guys. So you know, like it would be like a big battle kind of thing. And that might be really fun. So, you know, that's sort of like my plan for it, right? Is to play a couple gangs, learn them, fight some zombies, have the gangs intermittently fight each other, and sort of build up to like a big battle where they fight something that doesn't have Necromunda rules, right? And that's sort of really the real strength of Necromunda kind of campaigns, and sort of like playing with yourself in your craft room kind of thing. Is you know, house rules and having fun, right? Like we're playing to have a good time here. Like, this is not intended in any way at all to be competitive. You know, we're playing to derp around and put models on the table and roll some dice, and you know, for me to talk to YouTube and have an excuse to paint new guys and stuff like that, right? Because, you know, I know a couple people that want to play Necromunda, but I also just kind of want to play with my imaginary friend YouTube. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to set up our Dark Uprising campaign. So normally the first thing you do is you get all the players together, and they introduce their gangs, and you know, they pick their settlements and stuff like that. You know, it's pretty much me and you, YouTube. So we're gonna do that. So the only character that I have named in my gang so far, because all the others, they kind of need to do something, I think, to get a name, right? So maybe if they score a really good hit or something, they'll get a name. Otherwise, they're just going to be nameless kind of mooks. The only character who's named is my leader, and that's Meathammer. He is the leader of this Goliath gang. My idea for painting these guys is that they would kind of be pretty industrial, right? So they've got the hazard stripes mixed in there. They've got really like kind of generic, dirty brown, like, you know, not brown, but like dirty, generic metal armor, right? With some hazard stripes on it. You know, it's like copper and like lead belcher, kind of like gunmetal kind of stuff, right? Like all their straps and stuff, they're all like brown, and you know, like these guys are not fancy, right? Like this is the gear that, you know, they've picked up working in a forge, you know, and they're all kind of these like gross colors, right? Like they're not healthy looking people at all. You know, they're like splotchy, kind of off-white, kind of like just not healthy looking. Like these people look like they've never seen the sun, kind of thing. And that's really how I wanted them to look. The lore for House Goliath is that they are all pretty much genetically built to work in forges, right? To work in these really hostile, horrible environments, and then sort of die, right? Like they're not intended to have these huge, beautiful, long lives filled with like, you know, all kinds of, you know, interesting stories and children and you know, educations and stuff. No, they're intended to big muscle meatheads that work in a forge and then probably get killed by a piece of machinery in a couple of years. And they're all cheaply built, just sort of like vat grown people. Some of them, like the lady here, she is, you know, she's the off-spawn, right? So she's a little bit smaller. She's still hench as hell, right? But she's the off-spawn of the Goliaths. You know, this is the Goliath actually having real children and not like vat-grown meatheads. So I've got a couple of these. These are sort of specialist people. They aren't as big a meatheads as the regular Goliath boys. But my idea for these is that this was sort of an offshoot of House Goliath, you know, and they're sickly kind of monster men who are super industrial. You can see his cost and strike codpiece. You know, and they're out here trying to find somewhere to set up their own shit, right? Like maybe these guys have run away from a forge, and they're out here trying to make their own now instead of just working pretty much until they die. So they're going to be out here. They're going to try to find themselves a settlement today, and we will draw settlement cards or territory cards if they can win this battle. If they can't, they're going to need to try again. So let's hope they win. But yeah, I really wanted them to look very industrial, like, you know, like convicts, sort of, you know, like kind of thing. And really sickly, you know, I didn't want them to look super healthy and like ripped and glistening kind of people. But that's my idea for them. Maybe they're runaways from a forge, and Meathammer got all these people together and led them on a little exodus to go find their piece of the Underhive. And that's sort of my idea for them, right? So when you could do a campaign, everybody kind of comes up with like a little story for their gang, and maybe names a couple of their people and comes up with a little story of them. And then usually you pull out, you pick out your settlements. So since we're playing an Uprising campaign, we'll get one specific settlement because that's our guys, or territories, which is going to be the settlement. And then we're going to randomly draw 2 others, right? We're going to do that at the very end. Because right now, you know, my guys, they're an offshoot from a forge, right? They're random kind of shitheads, just sort of walking out there trying to find something they can take so they can make it their own, right? So this hive that I want them to be in, my idea for this hive, so I'm going to be painting my Palatine Enforcers. This is still super whip, so super work in progress still, but I'm going to be painting them like the cops from Fifth Element, because that's what this armor looks like to me. And I really like the idea that maybe this hive that they're, you know, that all my guys here are living in, right? This giant, sprawling city that's so big it blots out the sun and goes like super deep into the earth. And, you know, you have people that can live in it who, you know, have never tasted real water because they've just been eating the reprocessed stuff. And, you know, they're just like living amongst the pipes and all this horrible, terrible things that's in Necromunda. Maybe this hive that these guys are living in is actually super, super nice when you get to the top levels. So my idea for it, I'm gonna call it Hive Floston. I'm gonna color my police like the police from Fifth Element. And my idea is eventually, you know, maybe these guys, as the campaign goes on, maybe they'll actually get up to the nicer levels and they'll start seeing like beaches and like beautiful houses and all kinds of crazy stuff, right? But it's all going to start down here in the dirt, in the mud, in the nasty Underhive. You know, and maybe they'll eventually be making raids against the nicer part, and that's when the cops start getting involved, kind of thing. Because really, I mean, the cops, they don't give a shit if a bunch of like dickheads are down here blowing each other apart. They don't care as long as you don't bother the gentry. I mean, let's be real, that's how it works. So my idea for this is that for this little campaign battle is we're not going to pick a scenario. It's going to be my guys coming and taking a piece of territory. So they're going to come and take it from these poxwalkers, from these zombos. And eventually the zombie forces are going to get fancier and have cultists and like all kinds of stuff. And it's going to be super rad. But we're going to get to play with the Sump Beast here. And then when we're done, we'll run through a bunch of the campaign stuff. So to start off, we have our gang, right? You know, that's Meathammer's group of Goliaths there. And we've got some tactics cards. Normally for a game, you do tactics cards for your gang, plus whatever tactics cards you want to add to your deck. I don't have the gang tactics cards because the Hive War box just gives you the generic ones, which is fine. So we're just going to use the generic ones. So I have a deck here of the generic ones. We're going to draw from that. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. Let me shuffle these up. and I'll draw 2 of them for this little battle that we're about to take, and we'll see what we get. We'll put those over there. Okay, we have drawn a good day. Play this before both sides. So choose a champion or leader in your crew for the duration of this battle. Cool checks for other fighters belonging to your gang get a +2 modifier within 3 inches of the champion. Took this card under the fighter's card as a reminder. Okay, so that's cool. So we'll just use that since it goes off before the game starts. And then Beast Lore. The forwarder can forfeit one of their actions. Play this card. Immediately play the Beast Slayer marker within 3 inches of the fighter. Once this marker has been placed, the other fighter may have been 6. There's a chance they will be attacked as normal. Okay, so this is summoning a beast, which is like a special thing. We're actually going to redraw that one. Because that's a whole nother rule I don't want to deal with for this one. So, play this immediately after a fighter completes a basic shoot action. You basically force them to go out of ammo. Alright, so we'll run these 2, because I don't feel like dealing with a whole nother rule for the beast for this game. Okay, so we have our tactics cards now, right? So the setup for this scenario is to wipe out the zombies, right? This is my guys coming and taking their piece of the Underhive. So to do that, they need to kill all these motherfuckers that have what they want, right? They want this piece of territory, they need to come and take it. So the scenario for this is just going to be murder the other guy. And what if my guys run away, they lose. If they successfully murder all the zombies, they win. And stuff like that. Now, once we're done with the game, there's going to be sort of like a cool down phase to I don't, and it sort of goes off after the game. And what we're going to do is we're going to resolve anybody that got hurt, and then we're going to resolve everyone's experience. So, the guys are going to get experience. They're going to get money. They're going to get all kinds of stuff just for playing the game. And that stuff's going to use to increase them for the next one. Maybe they'll get extra tactics. Maybe they'll get, maybe they'll buy a new weapon. Maybe I'll buy a new ganger and I'll start using different deployments and stuff like that. But, there's going to be like a cool down phase for the campaign. And this is going to be the main thing that carries over between games. So some of my guys might get really hurt and they might have they might have disabilities for the next one. Or, they might do extremely, extremely well and get a ton of experience and be able to get some kind of special effect on them. My guys do all have starting skills, the guys that should. I have a champion, my boss, and the ogre, and all have starting skills. So, those are added this time as well. And we're also going to play with group activations, which is something we didn't play with last time. So that's pretty darn cool. One more thing for setting this up. Since this is a Dark Uprising campaign, I need to pick an allegiance for my gang. These guys are obviously chaos. Their wounds and stuff aren't going to carry over. We're just going to say anything that dies here dies because it's a random zombo. But my guys, they need an allegiance because all their stuff's going to carry over and all their wounds and money and stuff. It's all going to start adding up, and they're going to have like this profile of stuff that carries between games. So they need an allegiance, right? And in Dark Uprising, you can be unaligned, aligned to chaos, or aligned to good. Now, if you're certain gangs, like if you're the police, you're auto-aligned to good. If you're a chaos gang, like the Zombos here, they're auto-aligned to chaos. And that means you'll get certain benefits throughout the campaign. My guys, they're just going to be unaligned, right? They're random shitheads down here in the dirt trying to take something so they have some piece of reality to themselves and don't just, aren't just some piece in a forge forever. They're out here making their own way. They're just going to be unaligned. So, territories going to the book. Gangers, skills, scavenging, the end of the world. Where is the benefits of alignment? Okay, so here it goes. So this is the alignment chart. You can see the benefits you get for being order, the benefits you get for being unaligned, and the benefits you get for being chaos. So pretty much, my guys, they don't have any reputation right now. They're going to get that all after we play this game today, because they don't even have any territory or anything like that. But you can see that basically my guys are going to get more rep, and they're going to get more experience, which is going to be really good for playing a game like this. So that's pretty sweet. All right, so we have our alignment. We have our guys. They have their story. We're going to draw our settlements at the end, because right now they're just sort of crappy nomads that got nothing. We've got everything we need to start a campaign, and then we will do the wind down after our battle has concluded. So let's go ahead and let's put, let's deploy our guys out. Zombies are automatically going to deploy here, so that is cool. So I'm going to put, let's see, let's put these guys, I'm going to put some guys over here, and then we're going to say my guys, maybe they split up as like a couple-man team or something, right? And we're going to go ahead and put, actually no, let's put them all over there. All right, we're going to put them all over here, because they're coming in from one direction, right? They're just sort of seeing the world as it goes, kind of thing, right? Like maybe they're exploring the Underhive, looking for their place, and they're just going to start over there. Our zombies are going to start over here, like this. Yeah, we'll have them all facing weird directions, like that. Okay. Well, there we go. Actually, let's move the zombies back. I think that's a better idea. That way our guys just don't immediately get locked into combat. Alright, so we'll say the zombies are going to deploy on this side of the board, and my guys are going to deploy on that side of the board. Like that. There we go. Alright, so 50-50. That's how we'll call it. Alrighty. So, let's stay on this cam for a minute. Okay, so let's roll off. I am yellow. The zombies are black. The zombies get to go first. Alright. So, that's my meat hammers stuff. So, we have these. Ignore Zomboss there. He's not actually on the thing yet. But we have our Poxwalkers, and we have our Beast of Nurgle, which is going to be a Sump Beast for this point. These are printed out from Yak Tribe. The reason Zomboss is there is because if you try to add hangers on without having an actual gang member, Yak Tribe crashes. But it's whatever. Okay, so these are our rules for them, and we can look up what these do as we go along. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's activate the Beast of Nurgle first. Let's activate our Sump Beast. So he has a 5-inch move. So we're going to do 3, 4, 5. And then can he make the charge? No, he can't, unfortunately. Maybe he could. Maybe if he rolled perfectly, he could charge. So we'll try doing that. So charge is a normal move, which is 5, plus D3. So he's going to try charging, just right out the gate. That's plus 1, so he didn't get it. So he's going to get to move at least 6. So he's still going to lock up my guys really bad over here, right? And their thing is to not get locked up. But he's doing that. He's coming for him. Oh, Lord, he coming. All right. Let's see. Full cam. There we go. Just so you can see my guys a little bit better. All right. So he's pretty much done. So we're not going to worry about him too much just yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get some people into better positions to fight the rest of the zombies coming up. Right? Like if my melee guys are going to get tied up down here on the sump beast, who charged right up there and was like splat, 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 you know, rolling his way up. If they're going to get tied up there, I want to make sure that all my gunners and stuff aren't stuck behind them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move Mr. Bolter here, and I'm going to move him to this thing here. Now, this is an elevator. So he's technically standing on the elevator. We don't need to worry about whether or not it's up or down, right? We're just going to assume it always automatically goes down. I have it modeled being up because I think it looks cooler. Technically, you can slide it in and out, but it scratches the paint, so I didn't do that. So he moved on to the elevator. Now he's going to use his second action to interact with the elevator, right? He's going to hit the button and ride it up. So he's going to go from being there to being up at the top, up here, out of the way of the zombos. Unfortunately, that means he's not going to get to do too much more, like shoot or anything like that. But next turn, he's going to get to run over to that railing and blow some dudes away, which is perfect, which is exactly what he wants. All right, so now let's activate some of the zombos who are down here, because now it is their turn. So the zombos have a 5-inch move, which means that none of them are going to get into melee again, but they can get pretty close. He's going to move up, and then he's going to move up again. All right. Now I get to go with my other guys. I should have not had that guy ride the elevator up yet. I should have had him wait for somebody. But just like in video games, somebody always rides the elevator up way too soon. All right. Let's see. This lady back here with the supercharger, let's see. She's got a 5-inch move. She could just shoot into the Beast of Nurgle and potentially just nuke it. But we're not going to do that. We're gonna move her over here so that she's out of. So she's, I don't know, sort of more in the battle, I guess. You know, we want to get her out of the starting area, I guess. So we'll move her over here. And we're actually going to shoot at the zombie guy behind the Beast of Nurgle. Alright, so she has a weird electricity gun that has a ton of cool stuff to it. So she's a rapid fire 3 electricity welder gun. So she needs 4 to hit, and then whatever the dice say for the gun is what it does. Alright, so she didn't hit, which is a shame, because she would have gotten 5 shots out of her gun. But she didn't do anything. She also didn't run out of ammo, thankfully, so that's cool. Alright, so that's her done. So now zombies get to go again. Alright, so we're just going to move some more up, because they are continuously going to be out of range. 5 and then 5 again. Alright. And then back to my guys, right? So they're going to really get stuck into this choke point unless I can get some of them through. So I really need to do that. I need to get some of these guys through. So the problem is that yeah, my guys are really stuck in that corner. We don't really want to be like stuck behind a wall of like hits and stuff. That's a bad look for us. So we don't want to do that. Let's see. Alright, so let's try to prevent that. Let's try to cut some of that off. Alright. So we're going to move 5 with the guy there in the back. And then he's going to go another 5. And he's going to try to get out of this corner. Because we don't... While it would be very useful to... Actually, because he has to go up and down the wall, he's going to move a little bit less. While it would be very useful to just get the attacks in on the enemy, we also don't want to get stuck behind this wall of flesh, because it's going to make using our weapons and stuff way harder. Alright, so 5-inch move again on the Zombo. 5-inch move again, and then he's going to move up as close within 1 inch of this guy as he can, because he can't charge on 1 action. Okay, and then back to... Nope, there we go. Back to my guys over here. Let's see. So, Meat Hammer technically has a Flamethrower. So, we're gonna run that. We're gonna play the Flamethrower. So he's just going to shoot his Flamethrower and see what it does. So that's a weapon skill 3, blaze and template. So it means he doesn't have to hit because it's a template. So he's just going to fire his Flamethrower and hit all those guys. So he just needs to see if he wounds now. So yellow for Beast of Nurgle, black for the closer guy, red for the guy after that. So this is toughness 4, and we'll compare it. These guys are each toughness 3. The Beast of Nurgle, I think it's toughness 5. Yeah, he's toughness 5. So, okay. That one, those two do nothing. This 4 is going to wound. So that's going to wound this guy here. That guy has no armor, so he's just going to have to make a damage check. Oh, he goes down on a serious injury. Now there is another roll for blaze to see if guys get lit on fire. So let's check that real quick. And our friend, the weapon skill thing. I do wish these Yak Tribe things put the weapon profiles in them, so I don't have to go digging for them every time. I did only ever get to shoot that gun once before though, so not surprising I don't remember it. Alright, so this is for war gear. And this is different skill accesses. That's stuff for where are the weapon traits? Weapon traits, here we go, Blaze. Blaze has been resolved. Roll a d6. The target is hit but not taken out of action. On a 4 or 5, they become subject to the Blaze condition. When activated, it's subject to the Blaze condition, immediately suffer strength 3, AP 1 damage, 1 hit. Okay, so it means we need to roll for all... No, my roller, come back. I need you. Maybe I did that blaze weapon thing entirely wrong. Oh. After an attack with a blaze, okay, so this is additional. Alright, so this guy, he's seriously injured. We'll get a token for him in a second. So let's roll for each guy. Colors are the same as last time. Beast of Nurgle. Second guy in. Third guy. Okay. When activated, a fighter subject to the blaze condition immediately suffers hit as follows. Okay, so these two have been lit on fire. So now we have a big flaming turd monster coming at us. Alright, sweet. Learning new rolls. Last time we tried to use that, but it didn't actually go off. We'll go ahead and we'll say these are the fire tokens. Actually, no, we'll say these guy tokens, which are actually the ready markers, but we'll say they're the fire tokens because I don't have fire tokens punched out. And this is what I've been using for seriously injured. Okay, so next time these guys activate, they need to basically try not to burn on fire. Alright, so that's my boss's thing. He is just going to take on the Beast of Nurgle, right? Like, he's the biggest, toughest guy. He thinks he's the strongest dude. So then he's going to move up 1 inch as close as he can to the Beast of Nurgle. I did forget to do a reroll for his gun. It's not out of ammo either way, so it doesn't matter. Alright. There we go. Alright, now more zombos get to go. We've got 5 and 5 again. So more zombos clustering up in there. And now some more dudes here get to go. More of my boys get to go. Okay. Our Ogren friend is actually kind of a moving turret. So that's this guy right here. The really big, buff monster guy. He technically has like a smack you in the face kind of hammer, but doesn't do a lot of damage. So he's kind of more of like a moving turret. He's more of like a multi-life turret that can fight, very similar to her, but more expensive in points. So he's just going to put shots into this group of guys here, because anything within an inch he's going to be able to hit. So he's going to aim, so that's going to increase his ability to hit. And then he's just going to fire into those guys right there. So he's going to, because they're within 8 inches, he's going to get another +1 to hit. So that means his weapon skill to hit here is 2+. So 1 attack, 3 ammo dice. Hopefully he doesn't blow himself up like he did last game. And he rolled a 1. How did he roll a 1? Man, you're on a 2+ and you roll a 1? God damn, son. Alright, get the fuck out here. Oh, his turn is over. Useless. Oh, there we go. Alright, and the last Zombo, he's going to move up 5 and then 5. So we have this big cluster of zombies here. I will say this is great for the Flamethrower. And then my last guy, boop, there we go. My last guy is the guy back here with the big fancy axe. He's actually going to try to charge the zombie. So that is, his standard move is 5, so he needs a D3. Yep, and that is a 5, so that's a 3 on a D3. So he's going to make the charge to charge this zombie. Just because I'm trying to clear up the way so we don't get stuck behind the Beast of Nurgle, because it's going to be our biggest threat is the Beast of Nurgle, right? But I want to clear some heads. I want to get some room so my guys can sort of surround it and beat the living hell out of it. Alright, so here he is with the big axe. Okay, let's see. Where are we at? There we go. There we go. Okay, so that's strength +2, weapon skill 3+, 2 attacks +1 for charging. So 3 attacks at weapon skill 3+. Oop. Alright, so all of those hit. He is 6, because 4 + 3, 4 plus strength +2, which is 6. So he's actually going to wound on 2s. How do I roll a 1 on a wound on 2s? How do I roll a 1 on a gunshot of 2s? Alright, so 2 wounds go through. Those are 2 damage each. So this Zombo here, he is going to actually need to roll 4 dice. Because he's going to be at 1 damage, and every time he gets reduced to 0, he's going to have to roll an injury dice. Alright. 3 serious wounds and 1 out of action. So he's just cut down. Cut down in his zombie prime. Bleh. And he's gone. That's 1 zombie down. We've cleared the way a little bit. Somebody actually did something. Hell yeah. One of my guys actually did something. Alright. So that's all the activations. So we are good there. No one needs to make any bottle tests or anything like that, because the zombie gangs, I'm not making them do that, right? They're mindless monsters. They're crazy cultists. They're worshiping their god. They don't care if they come out here and they waste everybody, right? Like they don't care if their guys die. So they're not going to do bottle checks like my guys are. So then it's going to go into into the turn for initiative. Let's see. Oh wait, no, we need to see if this guy bleeds out. So let's check that real quick. No, he stays down with a serious injury. Excuse me 1 second. My house is so dusty. All right, let's re-roll these. All right, zombies get to go first again. Well, I think that means the big zombo, he's got to go first again, right? Like he's super eager to spread Nurgle's gifts, and murder the hell out of my guys, unfortunately. So he's going to charge my boss. Oh, he doesn't even need to roll. I mean, it's under his movement value, so blurb. Oh, he gets lit on fire. So let's check that real quick. Let's check the roll for being lit on fire. I think that means he takes the damage. Or he takes an attack, I think. Gas, fear, blaze. Oh, okay. So he actually doesn't get to choose what he does. Okay, so reading over this really quickly. First, he needs to suffer an attack. So let's do that. Strength 3 versus 5, so wounding on 5s. Okay, it wounds at AP -1, damage 1. So that's him being lit on fire and like just taking damage from the flames kind of thing. So AP -1. Let's check the Sump Beast. He has something called a Scaly Hide. So let me look that up. I think that's going to give him a save of some description, I believe. It might actually not be in this book. Yes, it's actually not in this book. All right, so we're gonna ignore his armor then for this game because it's not in the book. All right, so we'll just say that he just takes a damage. All right, so he's just gonna take a damage and go down 1 damage. Where's the blood marker? There it is. All right, so he's gonna go down 1. He's got 4. Okay, and now he's gonna move in a random direction, right? Because he's running from the fire, right? This big, huge turd worm is lit on fire, and now he's just like thrashing and flailing around, being all on fire and stuff. So he is standing and active. The fighter moves 2d6 in a random direction determined by the scatter dice. Okay, so he can choose to try to put the fire out after he does this. Okay, so 2d6. Let's roll that. Okay, so 10 inches. Jesus. Scatter dice. Well, that's hit target, which doesn't really help us. We need an arrow. Okay, so he moves this way 10 inches. So he's going to move his ass all the way over here. And then he's going to try to pat himself out. Well, he just cleared the way there, so that's super handy dandy. Go fire. That worked really well. So he's going to try to pat himself out. Which I don't remember how to do that. Let's look it up. I think it's just like some kind of check. Let's see. I'm looking through the book right now. Blah, 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 blah. Prone. Okay. Active. Shoot. Smash open doors. Fight. Retreat. Carry loot casket. Coup de grace. Kind of thought put yourself out would be under actions taken. It does not say that. Okay, blaze template, flame template, and cover. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. It's not there either. Why isn't it there? How do we solve this? How does he put himself out of fire? The campaign. That is a little annoying. This is a little annoying. Why? Okay, it says the fighter may then attempt to put the fire out. But nowhere under actions does it say how to do that. Game. Broken, ready, blaze. Okay, if they're blaze, they're let them fire. Thank you, I got that already. How do they put themselves out of fire, game? Why is this not just with the thing about blaze templates? Right? Why is it not? That's just where this should be. Game, come on. What is this shit? Yeah, see, here's a whole thing on flame templates, right? But it doesn't say anything about how to put the fire out. Okay, I don't see that anywhere. Big help, rulebook. Big help. Super disappoint. Super disappoint at you, rulebook. Why do you not tell me how to put the fire out? Okay, we're going to... we're just going to say it's a 3-up to put the fire out. Alright, he puts his fire out. That's super annoying, game. Like, it's cool the guy panics and tries to run in a direction and everything, but, like, that's super obnoxious that, and nowhere in anything relating to the fire does it tell you to put the fucking fire out. It's not even under basic actions. So annoying. Anyway. Alright, so that's him. That's all of his turns, pretty much. So yeah, so Actually, I wonder if it's supposed to be a recovery action. That would make a lot of sense. Anyway, all right, we'll call his turn done, and we'll move on from the fire fiasco. Okay. So my guy up here that went up on the elevator, he's gonna move up to the edge like that, and he's gonna rain down some shooting down on these bros. So he's gonna shoot with his rapid fire bolter. Alright, so he is weapon skill 3+. And that's one shot. He's going to put it into this guy here, because he is more than within range. Yep, say more than within range. So that's going to be, I believe, 4 versus 3. Yep, 4 versus 3. Right, because the zombies are toughness 3, right? Yeah, okay. 4 versus 3, so wounding on 3s. Alright, he wounds. I don't know where I rolled that again. Alright, so that's 1 damage. 1 damage. Wounding on 4s. He doesn't need to roll for ammo. Let's see what happens to the Zombo. Wow, Zombo's dead. He just picks its head right off. Man, getting lucky on those wound rolls. Alright, so my guys are doing a good job killing the little zombies, and the big zombie sort of moved himself out of the way, which is super handy dandy. But now the zombies are going to get to go. So this zombie here is going to charge that guy. Doesn't need to roll, he's more than within range. And he's going to attack. 2 attacks, hitting on 4s. Wow, he's apparently like... and does nothing. So my guy's going to hit him back. 1 attack with the Spudjacker. So hitting on 4s. No. Man, it's like a slap fight over here. My guy does nothing. Alright, cool. Okay. So we do need to be keeping track of who kills what. So this guy's killed a guy and this guy's killed a guy because they're going to get extra experience for that. So we'll just keep it in the back of our mind. Next time I'll bring a notebook and we can mark it down and stuff. It would have been really handy if I remembered to bring a pen. That would have been super handy. Oh well. I'll take notes in Notepad. That's what I'll do. Next time, bring a pen. Things to remember for Necromunda campaigns. Okay, so that's resolved. Now I get to choose a guy. Huh. Well, you know what? This guy, he's just going to go, right? He's just going to hit him back. So, just to use up that action, since he's engaged in combat there. So, he's just going to hit him back. Alright, he hits. Wounding on 4s? No, because he's a strength 4 plus... Yeah, he's wounding on 3s. Alright, he wounds. 1 damage. Let's see what happens. Does the slap fight end? Nope. It continues to be a slap fight. Okay, now the zombies are going to get to go. This guy is still... he's still seriously wounded. So this zombie here, he's going to charge. Yeah, let's charge him into the slap fight. That way he doesn't need to roll. Yeah, we'll charge him into the slap fight. That's the closest enemy. That makes sense for zombies in my brain. So, 2 attacks. Alright, 1 hits. Does not wound. Okay. This guy is going to charge into the zombie. He doesn't need to make a distance. The zombie is knocked down. Let's see. 1 more dice. He needs 1 more dice. Okay. All hit. wounding on 3s. 2 wound. So the zombie needs to make 4 more injury dice. That's a firepower dice. Well, man, I am rolling good with them skulls. So that's another zombie off the board, which is good. We can clean up the little guys, and then when the big guy comes in, we can have our guys gang up on him, which is nice, right? Divide and conquer kind of thing. All right. So really, I should just have these guys dump shots into the big guy. That really should be just what I do. Since my guys they've done a really good job of clearing that out. So, you know, that's what we'll do. We'll just have my guys dump more shots into them. Why not? So this guy, he's going to recharge, or not recharge. He's going to aim, and then he's going to shoot. And he's going to hope he doesn't blow himself up, because this is first game of the campaign. I don't want him to die. All right. So he hits, because it's more than a 2+, and he gets 5 total shots. So now we need 5 dice. See if this wounds. I believe this is a strength 5 weapon. Strength 6 weapon, so he's going to be wounding on 3s. Alright, so 3 wound at, I believe, 2 damage a pop. Nope, 1 damage a pop. Alright, so that's actually... How many wounds does the Beast of Nurgle have? The Beast of Nurgle has 4 wounds. He's down 1. That's actually going to bring him to 0 wounds. Wow, this was way too easy for my guys. Beast of Nurgle is going to go down with a serious injury. Wow, okay. This was way, way too easy. None of my guys got taken out of action or anything. Jesus. Okay, next time I'm going to have to super ramp up the opposition for them, because they like slaughter-o-matic their way through this. Yeah, wow, damn, okay. Alright, so let me resolve the rest of my attacks. The lady back here, she's going to aim and shoot. Why not? So she's going to be wounding on... She's going to be hitting on 3s. Yeah, he's not within 8, right? No, it's not. Alright, she's going to be hitting on 3s. Well, she got a 6, so 5 more shots. It's going to wound on 3s. I thought the Sump Beast would be a big deal, but he just kind of ran away. Alright, so that's 3 more injury rolls he needs to make. And the Sump Beast is just dead. She just electrifies him and shocks the turd monster into non-existence. Wow, okay. This was way too easy for my guys. I don't think my guys suffered any damage at all. Alright, well, I guess now my boss might as well charge in. Alright, let's roll, see if he can make it. He does. So, 4 attacks with his hammer, because +1 for charging. Wow, this was super anticlimactic, actually. I thought the Sump Beast would be super cool, but no. My boss just murdered everything. Both wound. They're 2 damage a pop. Serious injury and a flesh wound, so... He has buddies in combat, so my guy just can't free kill him, though, unfortunately. Alright, and that's the end of that round. The guy that's seriously injured, we need to see if he goes out of action. Nope, he just stays down. That's the end of the round. Alright, so let's roll some dice, see who gets to go first. One of these 2 poor zombies, or me. I get to go first, apparently. Yeah, I mean... Alright, well, you know what? Let's do the non-obvious action. Let's have this guy charge up and around. Like that. And he's going to get 4 attacks. No, 3 attacks. Alright. Those hit. See if they wound. That wounds. So kill that zombie. Nope, puts him down on a flesh wound. Okay, well, since he is seriously injured now, right? So he's seriously injured as well. So I've got 3 guys surrounding 2 zombies that are down. The zombies are going to... They can't crawl out of combat or anything like that. So basically, it's just going to go turn after turn after turn, waiting for them to get murdered. Because the zombies are going to try to go. They can't really do anything. My guy's going to go. He's going to coup de grace the zombie. He can't coup de grace the zombie if this guy wasn't seriously injured. Right? So he's going to coup de grace the zombie. This guy's going to go. He's going to coup de grace that zombie. Okay? So, that means that this guy, and both these zombies, they're gone. Right? They just got deleted. This was way too easy for my guys. This guy, and this lady, they all killed somebody, so they're going to get extra experience for that. So let's go ahead and wrap up. We don't have to do any injuries because my guys just stomped face apparently. But let's go ahead and wrap up the campaign, and we can look at those rules for the benefits. So, my meat hammer here has taken himself a piece of land. They came out here and they stomped the living fuck out of those zombies. I am very much going to have to come up with a stronger challenge for them. So they have earned themselves a settlement. So this is not a ruined settlement yet, because we are not in that part of the campaign. But they have earned themselves a settlement. So on a D6, the benefit of this, let me open up Notepad so I can keep track of, no, not File Explorer, Notepad. Actually, let me just go grab a pen. I'll be right back so we can do it on screen. Ugh. Why did I not grab a pen? Why do I not have a pen up here? I have a lot of pen markers. Oh, a pen. Alright, I'll be back. I'm grabbing a pen. Ugh. Okay. Pen achieved. I have joined the Pen 15 Club. Spoiler alert, I've been in that for a long time. Okay. Alright, so they've got a settlement, right? And this one they get by default because this is an Uprising campaign. And my guys are not corpse grinders or cops. So, let's see. So, at the end of this week, they're going to get D6 times 10 amount of money. So they're going to get 200 gold. Just going to note that down. And on a 3 up, they're going to get a free ganger, or a free juve rather. Alright, so I rolled a 6. So they're going to get a free guy with $25 worth of... $25 worth of equipment on him. Alright? So now, let's roll to see what other 2 terrains they get. So this is going to be a D6 roll on this little table right here. So what a D6 roll is you roll the dice. 1 is the first column, 1 is the second column. So let's roll the dice. All right, so we're going to get a 3. So it's going to be one of these 2. All right, so we got a 35. So they're going to get a slave pits. And then, what else are they going to get? They got a 5 and a 1. So they're going to get a slave pits and a fungal sprawl. So let's pull those out and see what benefits they give us as well. Those are also, all the territories are also in the rulebook, but it's fun since we have the cards to use them. Alright, so they get a slave pits and a fungal sprawl. And that's going to be my guys' starting territories, and they're going to win and lose these as they go along. Alright, like these might get taken over and destroyed, and they might get a benefit and lose them and stuff. Alright. Let's see. On a D6 for each fighter in the gang, on a 6, the player can choose to have one of the fighter's melee weapons gain the toxin trait for the duration of the campaign week. Weapons with the toxin trait have a strength characteristic of dash. Alright, so let's roll the money first. We're going to get 500 gold. And then let's see if anybody gets the toxin trait. Alright, that guy, first guy, no, he doesn't have a melee weapon. Yeah, why not? Nope. 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 Okay, fungal sprawl kind of sucks. It's definitely not as cool as the settlement, that's for sure. Alright. Slave pits. Pit fighting is a common pastime throughout the Underhive, offering both a venue for gangs to place wagers as well as hone the fighting skills of their gangs. I thought that was the word home, but it's not. Alright, roll a d6 for each fighter in a gang. On a 6, the fighter gains D3 experience. And then we also get the same amount of money as well. Alright, so we get another 500 gold. So we've made 1,200 gold this week for my guys running their stuff. Alright, so let's roll. First person for their experience. Let's see, on a 6, right? Nope. Second person, experience. No. Third person, experience. No. Fourth person, experience. No. Fifth person, experience. No. Sixth person, experience. No. Okay. Kind of useless. Alright, the only one that's really good is the first one, the settlement. That one's really good. The other ones are kind of meh. Okay. So now, everybody gets +1 experience. Okay? So everybody's going to get +1 experience for taking part in the thing and not dying. So I'm going to mark that down. Like that. Okay. So I'm going to reprint these every week, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade this on Yak Tribe and use that to track my progression. So this is just my scratching, so I know what I've got. Alright, so everybody's going to get +1 experience. If they killed somebody, they're also going to get +1 experience. So that's Meat Hammer. That's the guy with the bolt gun, because he headshotted that zombie right out the gate. That's the lady with the storm welder, because she killed the big monster. That's the dude with the spudjacker, because he technically would have coup de grace somebody. And that is the guy with the Renderizer Axe. He'll gain +2 because he murdered 2 dudes. The only person that didn't get that would be our Ogren. I apparently marked the wrong one. Should be this guy. I apparently gave the Ogren one when he shouldn't have one. Alright. So now my gang is unaligned, right? So they're also going to get... Sorry. So they're also going to get +1 reputation. So I'm going to mark that as well. And we don't need to do any wounds because my guy's just murdered face, apparently. And then, because they're unaligned, we're going to go and we're going to check that unaligned chart that we looked at earlier, because they're going to get extra stuff from that as well. Let's go ahead and find that. Alright, so they're going to have Hard as Nails, which is the +1 rep that we mentioned, and then they're going to get No Gods, No or Masters. If the gang leader participated in a battle and did not go out of action, which he didn't, because my guy's just like super murdered, they gain an additional D3 experience. Okay, so my boss is just going to get extra D3 experience. Okay, so we're going to roll that. Alright, so he's going to gain 3 more experience. So my boss is rocking the experience. Okay. Okay, so he's got 5 experience like that. Now, what do you do with the experience? Well, the experience, you can go over and take a look at it. None of our guys took injuries, so we don't need to worry about that. We're not in the middle of anything there. Okay, so this is pretty much what they can do with experience, right? So we can choose to expend our experience. So you make sure I'm on the camera. We can choose to spend our experience to get the stuff down here. Right, so my boss has 5 experience, so he could add 1 to his move if I wanted, which would be pretty sweet. You know, but all kinds of stuff, right? Like including increase your wounds characteristic. You can promote dudes to champions. You can have a random skill. All kinds of stuff, right? Like there's some really cool stuff in here. Increase strength or toughness +1, right? And this is where we're going to really, you know, this is what the experience is really going to do. It's going to be super, super cool. And just add up to the characters, and they're going to eventually get all kinds of special traits and stuff. It's going to be super nice. Let's see. Did I do all the experience right? They gain 1 if they killed somebody. They gain 1 for being in the mission, and they gain an extra 1 for being a champion. Oh, well, no, I guess the guy was a sump beast, not a champion. Okay. And then advancements. So we can advance blah blah blah. Experienced fighter has more certain advancements costs to purchase in terms of XP. Cost of each character's advancement on the same type taken is increased by 2 XP. So you can't just sit there and buy increased toughness, increased toughness, increased toughness without the costs going up. So that's pretty cool. Over here we can choose to advance our guys. While leaders and gangers are supporting cast, as such they spend experience points and gain advancement in a simple manner. If during the a ganger has gained 6 experience, the controlling player rolls 2d6 on the table below and upgrades anything accordingly. Alright, so I don't have any guys with +6 yet. We will probably in the next game. So my guys will probably get some cool upgrades in the next one. Alright, sweet. But they gained their experience, they got their territories, which at the end of the next game will roll on as well. We didn't actually end up using either of these because they just didn't come into the game. But we will next time. So our guys got a bunch of stuff to carry into the next one. My leader can almost get something really cool, so next time we'll buy him something really cool. We really need to get him some toughness and make him like super totally hardy. That would be rad. And then the rest of my guys got some other cool stuff, and they got a free Juve. So next time, what are we gonna do? All right, we're gonna do probably a random selection mission. So we're just gonna pick a scenario out of there, and I'm gonna run 2 gangs, right? So I'm probably gonna put together an Orlok gang with some zombos in it. So there'll just be some crappy, trashy shitheads that are thrown in. So it's sort of like a Nurgle worship kind of gang. And that's sort of my idea for that. You know, the Meathammer here and his boys, they came out here and they took a piece of territory today. And next time, you know, they might get retaliated against. Right? They took something. The cultists might be like, we want our settlements and our slave pits and everything you took this time. We want that back, right? So they're going to do that, and it's going to be pretty sweet. I'll probably try to pick one that does random selection, because this time I took my whole gang out. Normally you don't do that. Normally you do a custom selection or a random selection kind of thing. And I'll paint up the Juve that they got for free this time and add him to the list. And that will be pretty sweet. So, let me show off some stuff I have coming. Blue. Alright. So, for next time, or for other times in the future, I have a a sort of custom ambot, right? So this guy's all custom magnetized. He's super cool. He's going to get all painted up, and he's going to be a random thing that can just show up in the battle. Just at the start of the battle, I'm going to roll a dice, and this guy's just going to be the terror of this part of the Underhive. Maybe eventually they'll be able to hire him as like an ally or something like that, but he's just going to be a terrorizer. And he's actually going to count basically as a bounty hunter. So I'm going to count him as 2 players. The squirrel is going to be a bounty hunter, and the ambot's going to be an ambot. So it's going to get multiple turns. It's basically going to be like the squirrel using the ambot as a weapons platform kind of thing. And he's going to count as having a piece of terrain just with him all the time because he's got this big shield. So that's going to be pretty fun. He's going to be just like a silly kind of thing that can show up and just wreck face. Sort of randomly. And then I have some cops coming along. So my idea for the cops is very similar to him. They're just going to be a thing that's sort of in the battle, right? Like the police can show up sometimes when other gangs are fighting, or maybe they'll be fighting the zombies when my gang shows up, something like that. My idea isn't to treat them like a real gang. It's sort of more to treat them as like an add-on to battles to make the battles more interesting. So like when my guys roll out to go, I don't know, destroy something or like, you know, attack a base or something, it might already be being attacked by like D6 cops or something, right? Like they're just going to be a random addition, and they're going to be painted up to look like the cops from Fifth Element, which is really, really cool. But they're just going to add some more kind of fun, some more random flavor as well. And then, for one of my upcoming gangs, I picked up Kritsa the Rat Prince. You can notice he's not on a base yet. I'm going to put him on a Necromunda base. And he's going to be the leader for my Cawdor gang. He's going to probably get a new head. But he's got this really cool rat mane. And my Cawdor gang, I'm going to try to probably convert them into Skaven. So I like the idea that maybe this guy is like a fallen noble, and now he's rabble rousing abhumans down here in the Underhive. So he's going to be the leader for them, which is pretty sweet. So they're going to be one of the next gangs I work on. I'm going to finish up painting the cops I have. They're not going to take any time. Like, I'm literally going to be able to paint that entire gang in one evening. And then I'm going to work on some more terrorists, more cultists and stuff for the zombies, so they're a lot more scary, because today was ridiculous how well my guys just fucking crushed their decks. But the gang after that is going to be Kaldor, and that's going to be pretty sweet. And they're going to be probably the next gang I full play. I have some Eschers built, but I'm still trying to figure out how I want to paint them. Show them off. So I've got her here. Come on, camera. Thank you. So she's pretty rockin'. This is my leader. But I don't really have like a character or a theme for them really yet. So I kind of want to hold off painting them until I get that idea. I really like the pink and the blue. It's very 80s. It's very drag queen, which is what their hair really reminds me of. Ignore her horribly painted face. It's really bad. Painting eyebrows is really bad. I didn't worry about it on these guys because most of them shave their fucking hair off, but I feel like these ladies need eyebrows. I don't know. I also changed up some of their armor because I didn't like how they had these weird breastplates. I was like, it would be a lot cooler if it was like an 80s like little denim vest tube top thing. So that's how I painted it. But I've got them too, working on them. I don't have a full idea for them yet, so they're not next on the docket now. But gonna knock out the cops. Gonna paint up the terror of the Floston Underhive, which is a squirrel and a giant robot. And then we'll knock out some Kaldor and some cultists. And it should be super, super cool. But yeah, so this is the start of my campaign. We're going to still keep learning. You know, I'm still messing up a lot of rules. I forgot to do the group activations again. I could not figure out how to put out fire. There we go. There's me on the camera. Hello. You can see me a little bit now. I did not figure out how to put out fire. You know, I forgot to do group activations. And if you notice, I'm still not doing facings, really. I'm doing it a little bit, but not really. Because, see, when your guys turn to face and stuff like that, it uses up actions. So it's one of the things I'm still not doing yet, just because I'm not in the hang of it, of doing it. Because really, it's one of those things that you don't do in any other Warhammer game. So it's something that sort of my mind just glazes right over, right? And this game, the way that you do like wounds and stuff like that, it is so much like Kill Team that sort of my mind just falls into the Kill Team kind of route. So I'm still kind of skipping over that. I'll probably be trying to start being better with that and try to, because I think there's some value in it, especially for some attacks being from like behind and stuff like that. So I think there's some interest in there. It's just it's something I'm not doing 100% yet. And really, I'll be totally honest. That's one of the really big benefits of playing a tabletop game, right? Like, I don't know 100% all of the rules yet, but I'm sort of learning them as I go, right? I'm adding more rules in every game. You know, I'm making some rules up, right? And this is the benefit of a tabletop game, really, over like a video game, right? Like, if you're playing World of Warcraft and you're just like, man, it would be cool if my sword hit multiple guys like it logically should. You can't just determine that it does that, right? Because you're stuck in the confines of a system that you don't control. But in a tabletop game like this, you can do that. You can be like, oh, this weapon really logically should hit multiple people. So you can just make it hit multiple people. You really can't do that in like video games and stuff like that. And that's really one of the big benefits of a tabletop game. Plus, you really get to get in here and customize and make cool things that are yours. I should figure out a better face cam for these than me being like, oh, let me stretch my neck in. But yeah, so Swapping back here. Yeah, swap back. There we go. Swapping back. No, there we go. Swapping back here. We'll go ahead and call it there. But that's the really basics for the campaign. We got our guys set up. We talked about where they're from. We got them their terrains, or their territories, sorry. We got them their experience and stuff. Nobody got hurt, so we didn't have to do any of the injury stuff. Maybe next time. And I showed off some guys that I'm going to be having coming in the coming things. Because to be honest, I kind of enjoy doing this, sort of figuring it out at my pace and sort of sharing that process out, right? Because it's very easy to be like, oh man, nobody wants to play this game with me, right? And I don't know how to play it, and I need somebody to teach me. And, it's very easy to fall into that. But, if you wait for other people to want to do things, you might never do them, right? And Necromunda was one of those things that I did want to learn, right? In my brain, I was like, oh, it's too hard, right? The rules are too complex. It's too much. And I was like, screw that. I'm going to learn to play it, and I might screw it up, but it's going to be a journey, and I'm going to figure it out how it goes, and I'm going to have fun going on that journey, regardless of what happens, right? Like, tomorrow I might decide, man, screw Necromunda. I don't want to play that anymore. That's not going to happen, but... and then what's lost, right? Nothing, right? Like this is just me having a really cool experience and having a lot of fun with it. And it's an excuse to do fun models. I mean, this guy's gonna get added to games. He's a little hard to see here, but because he's prime black now. But I mean, it's a squirrel riding a giant like crab spider robot. How fucking cool is that, right? He's got like a scrap shield and like a giant howitzer on his back. Like, I don't get to make this model for any other game. And this guy's just going to be an addition, right? At the start of every game, I'm going to roll a dice, and if I roll like, I don't know, maybe a 6 or something, he's going to show up. And maybe if it's a particular area, like maybe he'll show up easier. Maybe he'll show up on a 3-up or something. Depending on whether or not he's shown up recently or something like that, right? Like, and he's just going to wreak some havoc, and it's going to be fun, and we're going to have a good time. Same thing with the cops, just going to roll a dice, and at the start of it, might be some cops. Who knows, maybe there's like a couple guys down there on on their beat, and they come across the gang is beating the hell out of each other. And that's the fun of it, right? That's the fun of playing on the tabletop, doing this kind of roles, stuff like that. But that is it for me. Sadly, my guy stomped the living hell out of the zombos. I mean, this zombo never even got to attack. He got lit on fire and then ran away. And then he got super turbo electrocuted to death repeatedly. Which, I mean, hey, more power to my guys for being able to do that. But, man, did not work out in his favor. So maybe next game he'll actually get to rock some face. But that is it for me. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it there. If you watched, thank you for watching. I'll be playing again next Sunday. Maybe I'll play again tomorrow morning. Who knows? That might be fun. Maybe we'll do that. And just have a good time with it. But thank you guys for watching, and keep on keeping on.